Hi guys, I hope you can hear me because it's very gusty today. But I've been out on Teddy. Obviously those number plates I've just put on now for show, before anyone has a go at me. Absolutely loving Teddy. He's riding beautifully. The handlebars are in the right position, the mirrors are perfect. I've just been to the baker's to buy some bread, and in the queue there was a young guy who said, commented on my bike and said how nice it was. And I thought, do you know what, he's just got into biking, he's just bought his first bike. And I thought, how nice that someone of a younger age can admire this bike. Yeah, I thought that was really cool. And why not? Why wouldn't you admire this bike? It looks the business. Someone sent me an email, I think it was Alan, and on Facebook, Kawasaki Colchester have put some pictures up of the empty showroom, and one of the pictures shows what looks like a classic 500 tank in exactly this colour, two original classic 500 wheels, and some other bits and pieces. So I might have to see if I can get in touch with them. I don't even know if they've got a phone anymore. I don't know how old that picture was, but I wouldn't get the wheels. I absolutely love these wheels. Someone said I look like a fairy. How could I look like a fairy ever? Just because of these wheels? I don't understand. But anyway, absolutely loving Teddy. So much fun, such a blast to ride. The number plate looks really good. I've ordered a couple of accessories that I'll show you on a future video. The dent. So I phoned someone about the dent, sent them pictures, and he quoted £145 to remove that dent, which I thought was excessive. I could almost buy another tank for that. So I'm going to have to shop elsewhere and keep looking. But I will definitely get that done because I think he deserves it. Yeah. What a great bike. Right, I've got a Rob story to tell you, and then a little bit of chat about the Z900RS. I'm not getting bored of it. I just feel guilty that I've not ridden it. But then it is winter, so really it just gets dirty and covered in crap from the road. So maybe I shouldn't be feeling guilty. But this title of this video might be, am I getting bored of the Z900RS? It's not clickbait, it's a question before any of you jump down my throat. Anyway guys, let me stop it there. I will catch up with you when I'm in the garage and we can talk further. Oh, that's better. It's so windy today. I think people up, poor old Ian up in Wibsey have got it bad. I think there's a lot of gales and heavy rain and stuff, but luckily it's sunny but strong winds. Anyway, so I've had a few emails, I've had a few comments about people thinking now that I'm going to get rid of the Z900RS because I've got the classic 500 and I'll just won't be riding it. And do you know what? There is a little bit of me. Do you know what it is? I feel guilty. It's like I've just taken a mistress and I'm not paying attention to my original. And that's what it feels like. But there isn't one bit of me that thinks, oh, I've got to get rid of the Z900RS now, because this bike is beautiful and I love everything about it. And it can do everything that the Classic 500 can't, and the Classic 500 does a lot that this bike doesn't do. So for me, the two bikes are staying, they're both keepers. I can't believe how much I'm enjoying Teddy, my Classic 500. I thought I'd like it, but I didn't realise quite how much, and maybe I'd forgotten the joy of owning a Classic. I know I've had the 350 before. I can definitely feel the extra torque on the 500, there's no doubt. And the speedo, so the speedo problem is actually not as bad as I thought. The speed is actually fine when I'm stationary. It's only when I'm moving it doesn't work. Is it wrong to laugh at your own jokes? Please don't go away, stay there. Anyway, so it's not going anywhere. I know a lot of people are thinking, oh, that's it, he's got the Classic 500, he might even get another Royal Enfield, because I've been talking about the Gorilla in the past, and Do you know what? I love the Z900RS. It's just guilt that I'm not riding him enough, and I will when the weather turns. As I said, you know, I don't like going out when there's salt on the road. I don't like going out when it's wet, because I have to clean it straight away afterwards. I don't feel that, even though I am going to clean the Classic 500 now. I just find it's easier to jump on the Classic 500 when it's wet and it's not particularly nice. So in the summer, I will ride the Z900 a lot. So please don't worry, it's not going anywhere. I've got a Rob story to tell you, and I have to put a disclaimer out there because I try not to swear on my videos. It's not very often. I don't say the F word very often because I just don't feel the need to on my videos. But unfortunately, this story, I have to swear and I have to use the F word, and I'm sorry, but you'll understand why in a minute. For those of you who don't know, Rob was a friend of mine that passed away last year. Was it 8-9 months ago now? It's crazy how fast time goes. Anyway, he passed away from pancreatic cancer, and up till his last breath, he was the funniest man I've ever met in my life, the kindest man I've ever met in my life, the weirdest man. He was so funny, but unintentionally so. And what you saw with Rob is what you got. I mean, he was straight down the line. He was a great guy. And I've told a lot of stories of stuff that he did that are just so unbelievable that a lot of people actually think I'd make them up. And I couldn't make it up. They're so ridiculously unbelievable. I couldn't make these stories up. This one in particular, I think all of you, certainly I have nearly done it. All of you have either done it or done something similar. So Rob used to work in an office in the late 90s. It was IT, some sort of IT office, and it was a large open plan office, and every lunchtime he used to go to the pub with one of his colleagues. It was back when he used to drink. But he didn't get on with the office manager. They butted heads a lot. He didn't understand Rob's sense of humour, didn't get him at all, and they had plenty of rows. Anyway, one day Rob was sitting there and he overheard a couple of people saying that his boss wasn't in today, he'd taken emergency annual leave. So Rob thought, excellent. So he opened up his email, started typing an email to his work colleague who worked the other end of the office saying, fuckface Phil, that was the boss. Now, fuckface Phil is the name that Rob gave him. He wasn't born fuckface Phil. Obviously his parents didn't think, fuckface, do you think? So Rob used to call him fuckface Phil. I apologise for the swearing. He said he sent this message to his mate, and he said, result, we can have a 2-hour pub stint because fuckface Phil is obviously taking the day off to have his penis enlargement. Anyway, he sent it to his mate. A couple of hours went by, his mate came over and said, we're going to the pub today for lunch. And Rob said, didn't you get my message? I sent you an email. He said, fuckface Phil isn't in today. He said, I didn't get an email. So Rob looked down. I think you've guessed it. He'd sent the email to fuckface Phil. Wow. Anyway, obviously Rob was panicking. His boss wasn't back until the following day. So Rob had to go through the whole evening worried about this email. And he was trying to work out what to do, how he could get around it. And his decision was to come into work early the next day and wait for fuckface Phil to come in, and then go into his office before he's logged on and say, listen, I've sent a really sensitive email with a lot of personal information, and unfortunately I've sent it to you. Would you be able to delete it unread because it's got personal information and it wasn't meant for your eyes? And fuckface Phil said, yeah, let me just log on. And Rob said you could see him looking at the screen. And the one thing that Rob hadn't thought about is that in the title of the email, he'd put fuckface Phil's penis is being enlarged today. So his boss said, is this the email that says fuckface Phil's having his penis enlarged today? And Rob said, yeah, that's the one. He said, if you could just delete that. And his boss just stared at him, and Rob said he felt so uncomfortable. He said, listen, just take it as a term of endearment. A term of endearment. He said, everyone's got nicknames. There's like Pedo Pete, I'm Rob the Knob, and you're fuckface Phil. Anyway, it didn't end well. Rob got moved to a different department. He didn't get sacked, but he did get, I think, got a written warning. Anyway, that's my story of Rob and Fuckface Phil. I'm sorry for swearing, but it's Rob's fault. So, guys, Sunday night, please come along. Someone mentioned that I should name the pub that we are, what's it called? Going to, what is it when you actually aren't there? I can't remember what it's called. But we're all going to meet in the pub remotely or something. And instead of the Willie Arms, we're going to call it Willie Inn. I think that's great. So, yeah, come either way. 7 p.m. Sunday night. We can talk about whatever you want, and it will be great to see you. We had a great time the other week. I'm going to have a little drink again. I'm not going to get too drunk. I know a few of you got the ump because I was a little bit merry. What's wrong with being a little bit merry? I never drink. Anyway, come along Sunday night at 7. You can talk about what you want. I've ordered some bits for the Classic 500. Did I say that earlier on? Yeah, I can't wait to show you. I know I'm going to start spending money on that, and but luckily, the bits and pieces for the Royal Enfields really aren't that expensive. They're not Triumph or Harley prices, so you don't feel so guilty. I don't know what to do about this dent. I don't really want to spend 145 quid or whatever it was getting the dent removed, when really I saw one the other day on eBay, an actual tank for 160 quid. And it's not just a dent, it has got a few marks on it as well. So yeah, I'll have to have a little think about it. If anyone's got any ideas, or do I try it myself? No, I'm not going to try it myself. Anyway, guys, I'll see you on Sunday, please, 7 p.m. And what I'm going to do, one last thing. I had problems logging on last time on the live. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to close down. Don't join the one that I've started or given up for recommendation. Leave that. I will just start a live video at 7 p.m. and join me then. And I'll wait until I've got 50 of you on board, and then we can start chatting. Can't wait. All right, guys, have a great week, and I will catch you all weekend. I'll catch you on Sunday night. I might do a video before then, but if not, I'll see you Sunday night at 7. Right safe.